To do this while I'm thinking about it because I don't like for people to ask me something and then I forget, and then uh days later, weeks later, I go check my comments and I see this and I'll be like, oh my God, I forgot. So I'm doing it right now. Excuse my attire, but this is me, this is where I am, and I'm home. So let me get to the point and stay focused. Okay, so someone asked me to do a video on step-by-step process of a housing lottery and explain what it is versus Section 8. Okay, so now, all right, I'm gonna start with Section 8 first because I've been on Section 8 since I was, since 1986. 86, 80, no, 89. Because my first apartment, I didn't know nothing about Section 8. So therefore, I was paying rent. My husband was working. He'd give me the rent. I paid to the landlord. And public assistance, which is welfare, HRA, out here in New York, there's different names in different states. Because in my husband's state, which he's from California, it's called the county. So I was on public assistance out here in New York City. So they paid my rent because I didn't have no income. So the rent was, however it was, rent was just like $200-300 back then. I think I was paying like $350. So it was nothing. Okay, so moving right along, I had a fire in my apartment and I had to go to the shelter, which was a Red Cross shelter, because they do shelter you. So that was the beginning of the process of Section 8. So I had this fire in 89. Yeah, in 89. So from 89 to the present, I had Section 8. So now my Section 8 is under H HUD, let me put it that way. And it may or may not be the same as a Niger Section 8. I'm not sure. But Niger had opened up for a few years Section 8 where you was able to move into the projects with your Section 8. Okay. So, but me, I applied for it like maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. No, I'm gonna say about 7 years ago, and I got rejected because you can't have both. You got to either have Niger Section 8 or you got to have HUD Section 8. Okay. So with HUD, my rent will always stay based on my income. With, I'm presuming Niger Section 8 is based on you working. And if anybody know the difference based on what I'm saying and it's wrong, then please correct me. But I'm thinking that with Niger Section 8, if you lose your job, then you may lose Section 8 and it may put you back into the shelter. Whereas with public assistance or HRA or HUD or however it is, Section 8, as long as I keep as long as I keep my public assistance case open, they will pay my rent and I wouldn't have to pull no money out of my pocket. Not a whole lot. It builds up based on the income in my house. But if all my people was to lose their job, God forbid something happens and my husband doesn't get SSI no more, and it's just my income, I will still have a roof over my head. As long as somebody will take just public assistance rent, Section 8 is required to pay the percentage of what public assistance don't pay. Okay, so now with that, the process of Section 8 is, back then, no waiting list, you just go and apply. And the best way to get on Section 8 back then was to be in the shelter, because your housing specialist would take care of all that that paperwork, and you wouldn't have to. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to make sure I showed up for appointments and make sure I went down to Section 8 when the appointment was given to my housing specialist, and went down and took care of my business, whatever the case I needed to show to them. You know, if I needed to go down to public assistance and get something, I went and got it and gave it to my housing assistant. Housing assistant gave it to to Niger, and that was it. When it came down to finding an apartment, I never really lived in managed buildings, which I'm living in now, and the one I'm moving into is a managed building. I never, and it's a different, that's a moving on up. That's a Jefferson's managed building that I'm moving into. But this building that I'm in now is a managed building, but it's apartments that is um how can I say, you have a super, I don't know really know how to explain it, and I'm not really going to get into it in this one. I'm just going to try to stay focused to the question. So so that's Section 8. So when I applied, that's how I got it. I got it through the system. Now I'm seeing now that it doesn't matter whether you in a shelter or you just apply. You if they have a waiting list, you get on that waiting list. And when they open it up, you can apply when they open it back up. But then I'm presuming and thinking that that just puts you on a waiting list. It doesn't necessarily means that you're going to get picked during that time span. And from what I've noticed, that they only stay open for a month or two, or even if it's that long, I'm not really sure. So now the process of Section 8, once you go through all that, you are then able to go out and find your apartment based on what you like. Okay? So I would go out and I would look, and I always would find an apartment in a house. Why? Because my fetish or my dream was to have my own house. So me moving into a house made me feel like I was in my own house. Okay, so therefore, all my apartments was in houses. I never really lived in a managed building. The last apartment that I moved from before I went into the shelter to get this one, I was living in a private brownstone, right? Private owned, put it that way. So you got Section 8 allows you to live in private owned. It allows you to live mines. I don't know how it is with Niger. I'm presuming that Niger is only for Niger. You can only live in projects. Whereas with mines, you can live wherever they accept it. So you can get condoms. You can live in a condom. You can live in a house, even if it's a hotel, and they accept it wherever is nice that you like, and the owner or the landlord would accept Section 8 as a subsidy for the rent that they want. I'm free to live there, and I can take my Section 8 and I can move and go wherever I want to go. That's another video. I'll speak on that, because I did take my Section 8 to another state, and I'll tell you all the process another time. Um, and if you care to hear that, comment below. So now, moving right along, trying to stay focused, because you know me. mm. I'm sorry, I got to put on some eyebrows. I forgot about that. Because I don't have any, so I have to make sure that I okay, this phone ain't got no space. It's hard for me to do it in here. Okay, so let me see. Let's see. I gotta make sure I do it right. My eyebrows is my bone structure, not my eyebrows. Let me put it that way. My bone structure is very crazy, so. And now that I got some eyes, I can actually see what I'm doing because I couldn't see. All right, how's that? That'll keep you all off my eyes. I don't want nobody to focus on nothing but what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's no better. All right. So now, moving right along. So now, okay, so once you find your place, right? You back in the days, I gotta go back some and then come to now with Section 8. And then I can go into the lottery because I never did the lottery. So I don't want to start first with the lottery because the lottery I'm experiencing. I have not experienced it yet. I mean, I have not completed it to tell you that it's better than Section 8. Well, I can say the apartment is, but anyway, I have not experienced it yet. So, okay. So now, once you find an apartment with Section 8, you back in the day, and this is like between the 70s and the 90s, I put. So I gotta say between the 70s and now, okay? Because when I moved into apartment, my last apartment before moving here, I was there for 15 years. The one before that, I was there for 10 years or 12 years. So, during that process time that I'm in this apartment, these two apartments for so long, the process of Section 8 has changed to where we are today. So I'm just gonna start from where I was before I got here. Okay. So now the apartment I was in was a private owned with my own personal landlord. Not my own, but we interacted. Anything needed fixing, I talked to him, I called him, stuff like that. It wasn't the best of living, but it was okay. So we would have to take a package. For those who know about Section 8 back then in the 80s, there was a package that I had to take, 80s, 90s. A brown envelope. In that brown envelope was called the landlord package, right? So I would have to go down. I would be called up to go down. Wasn't no such thing as emails. The telephone was what it was all about. And it wasn't cell phones. It was landlines. So they would call me up and say, all right, Miss Jordan, you can come in, da-da-da-da-da, and pick up your package. So because I would have to go in first to get a transfer. Then upon getting the transfer, I would have to get approved for a voucher. And then upon getting the voucher, I would have to come back and get the package, right? So then that was like 3 processes before I could actually go and look for a place. Now once I put in for my transfer, I started looking for a place way before I got the package. Okay, so in order to get the package, you had to go down and get everything. Then they upgraded where they did videos, but it was inside the Section 8 office, which was on, what was that? Livingston. It went from Livingston to, what was the other place? Livingston. Thank Sharon. Wait, maybe it was only Livingston. I could have sworn. Oh, it went from Livingston to Atlantic Ave. So it was on Livingston for years. So I would have to go down to Livingston, whether I was in the shelter, out the shelter, whatever the case may be. And I would put in the transfer at the front desk. Everything was done at the front desk, right? Put the transfer in. Then you had to sit and wait, right? Then you had to go in the back and speak to your housing specialist, right? In the shelter, the housing specialist is there within the building. Upon talking to this housing specialist, they approve the transfer, you get your voucher. I think it was for 4 months, right? At the end of each 4 months, if you ain't done found a place, you have to go back into the office, wait online, wait for the people to come out from behind a cubicle to call you, and then you go in the back, and then they'll give you, your housing specialist will give you the the voucher update extension. It's called extension. Then they started upgrading where you can come in. That's called a briefing. And when you come in for the briefing, this is when you're picking up your package. You don't went through all the 10 hours to get the voucher. Now upon getting the voucher, now they call you up and tell you, come and get your package. Once you get there, you gotta wait, and then they call about 10 people. You go into a room, you sit there, and they talk to you, right? They talk to you. And you got to listen to all they talking about before you can get that brown envelope. So if it's an hour, and you got to sit there for an hour, and when the hour's finished or the hour's up, or should I say they finish, when they finish, hopefully it do be within an hour. Prayfully it be 15 minutes. Then they call you by name, whether it's alphabetical or however it is. It's most likely alphabetical. Thank God my name is Jay, so I don't have that long to wait. And then you get your package. All of that they explain it, right? All of that they explain it. They explain each page. But the main thing that they wanted us to know is that everything in that package has to be filled out by your landlord. So now, this, what I did like about that is that you got the chance to interact with the landlord. You couldn't go, there was no brokers. No, there was no brokers. You could not deal with no middleman. You had to give that package to the landlord. And the landlord had to fill out every piece of information on that paper and give everything, their D's, they roll, whatever it is. All the stuff that you may see online now, if anybody's going through a transfer on Section 8, portal, that's what we had to go through. That's what I had to go through face to face. Okay, now, once the landlord has filled out everything, right? Then I have to come back into the office. Now, this can be hopefully within 2 months. I done found a place. We gonna put it that way. Because there was a lot of time. I must have got like 10 extensions, right? Because it was hard to find a place. And at that time, I was looking for a 3-bedroom. So this just goes to show how times has changed, because now you can find a 3-bedroom in a split second compared to a 5-bedroom, which you gotta wait. I've been waiting since 2000, what's this, 24, I'm gonna say about COVID time. I've been preparing myself to move in a 5-bedroom. Okay. Now, just a heads up, I'm moving in a 4. I live in a 4 and I'm moving in a 4. The Section 8 approve it. It's a 4-bedroom. It's not a 5. But anyway, that's the lottery part I'll talk about. So I'm trying not to be too long. I've done been 18 minutes. So I want to keep it interested so people will pay attention. So now, okay, once I go in, I let them know I got a place. The landlord done filled out everything. And then I have to wait for hours and hours upon hours to be called, right? It wasn't numbers back then. It was your name. They didn't call numbers. See, so I'm introducing to you guys how long I've been in it, where it went from name calling, phone calling, name calling, to number calling, to now online. Okay, that's how long I've been on Section 8. So, with that being said, they call my name. I go into my house. That's the good thing about it. It's always the same thing. So when you deal with online, you get different people. You don't know who you're talking to, right? But face to face, I knew my housing specialist and she knew me, right? Once I gotta sit there. Okay. We're going to be in there for hours upon hours upon hours, right? When I say upon hours, you can get there 11 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and you don't leave Section 8 Livingston until 4, 5 o'clock at that afternoon. You hear what I'm saying? So when you go to Section 8, it's like going to welfare. Don't look to get out of there no early. If you be blessed to get out of there, you better thank your heavenly Father, not stars. Okay, move right on. So now they call my name. I go in. Now I gotta sit there another hour or so for her to go through all them papers, which is about 50, 60 papers. And then she has to go through them, make sure everything is signed. And so many papers there that sometimes I'm missing sign, didn't sign something or signed in the wrong spot. But please don't let the landlord forgot to do something. Because if the landlord forgot to do something, then that's going to be a hold up for the inspection. Because the inspection is the last thing. Once you get the inspection for Section 8, and it passed, then you get the letter to move in. Once you get the letter to move in, then that means that the landlord is now apt to give me my keys. But I'm here to tell you, if you got a good landlord, like I did a couple of times, I got my keys before I got my move-in letter. Okay? That's guaranteed that they wanted me in that apartment. And if it just so happens, we never did, but just in case it happened that Section 8 did not approve or did not pass the inspection, I had my keys. So I could still go in there and do whatever needed to be done or what I wanted to put in. Okay, move right along. It's all about them keys. Right. So now, once all of that's done, I just told you the process. So once all that done, then you go through that, you sign the lease, then you go, you get your move. She gives you the move-in letter. Once you come, you got after inspection is done, they're gonna call you. They're gonna say, okay, Miss Jordan, the inspection, everything is good, it's all right. So we just gonna hit up with the landlord. The landlord sign the lease, then you come in, and then he'll leave us the keys, and we'll give it to you when you come and sign the lease. Boom, that's it. So you keep that. Now you got the number thing. You go in same weight, but it's just a number instead of your name, right? And the thing is, if you have a worker, your worker will come out. If you have a housing specialist, your worker will come out and call your name, as opposed to someone that don't have a worker. They gotta wait till their numbers call. Okay, so that's different. Now moving on. So now thing about Section 8, right? You now where we at with Section 8, where I am now with the lottery. Now I go into the lottery. Now, what I did, it just randomly, I'm glad somebody asked this because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, wow. I said, Housing Connect been out for so long. I could have been in another apartment years ago if I knew about Housing Connect. And I could have just been going through the process of signing up for different apartments. And who's to say maybe the building that would have been in would have upgraded to a 4-bedroom, and then all I had to do was just transfer over to a 4-bedroom in the same building. You follow what I'm saying? I wouldn't have to go through a shelter thing. Whereas that is a difference in a sense, when you deal with, no, it's not no different. So just erase that. Forget that. I was getting ready to say something that was a little bit far-fetched. Okay. So now, I'm sitting here. I don't know. I typed in 5-bedroom apartments, right? I'll be honest with you, I really can't remember how I actually got connected to Housing Connect. I think it was just a randomly something that I saw when I did a search for apartments, and maybe New York City apartments or apartments that take Section 8, stuff like that, right? And some kind of way I saw it, clicked on it. And once I clicked on it, it took me to that and to, to their page, and I signed up. for it, right? Now, let me go into the question so I'll be answering it. Okay, so the step by step to the housing lottery is that you got to go on the website, you click on it, right? See, I don't know, I'm not, I have not actually learned how to do it where I can show you what I'm doing. So I have to say it in the video. So you go on the website of Housing Connect, you make an account, you put your income in, right? Put how many people in your family. This I will say, based on what I've heard, not what I've done, because I did not go searching based on income. I went inside Housing Connect. I picked based on my size, right? So now I was thinking that, I guess it still is thinking, but it's not that way anymore. You got to go by your income as well. But at that time, I was thinking, okay, one to seven, because they had 1 to 5, right? I wanted to make sure that it accommodated my family, and then I'll worry about how much it costs. You see what I'm saying? Because as long as it accommodates my size family, then I know Section 8 will pay, right? What? Right? I know Section 8 will pay, right? So now, uh, I got kind of distracted. I got a text. Okay, so now I clicked on it and I picked the one household 1 to 7, right? Now, when you pick on, what I mean by pick on a household 1 to 7, you pick on the apartments. So I'm gonna tell it like this, and then I'll tell you how I did it. You look for what it is that you're looking for based on your family size, your income, and where you want to live, right? What part of New York City you want to live in. Now, somebody had, I think the same person asked me about can it be done in different states. I'm presuming that it can, I don't know. But that's why I put the links of the answers that they said. But as far as for New York City residents, you get, in a sense, you would get the priority first to pick to live in the community. And from what I'm hearing, if you live in the Bronx and you fill out for one in the Bronx, you'll be the first one. I guess you'll be eligible depending on your lot number. Well, I live in the Bronx. I ain't picked none in the Bronx. I'll be honest with you. Because I wanted to move to Brooklyn because that's where I raised up at. That's where most of my childhood and teenage years was. And mainly, that's where my church is. And me being an evangelist, I wanted to be as close to my church as possible, except for next door, all across the street. Okay. Okay, then you become more accountable when you be too close. But anyway, okay. So now, make sure you pick on this website. I think they got filters and stuff where you can pick, like break down what it is that you're actually looking for. How many rooms you want, what you want, your amenities, if I'm saying it right. And pets, parking, washing machines, all this different stuff. Even the type of stuff that you would like in a building, they give you that option. I ain't paid. I'll be honest with you. I did not filter nothing except for how many people was in my household, how many rooms I need. I ain't put no bathrooms on it or nothing like that. You got the option to do it, but I didn't do it. Okay, so when you go on New York City Housing, I brought it up because I wanted to get a better understanding so I could tell y'all. Okay, so You pick all this stuff, right? And upon picking it, you're going to see on the top part of it say open lotteries. You click on open lotteries, right? Those are all in reference to the apartments. They got rentals. We ain't nobody selling nothing. So you click on rentals. According to what it's saying now, it says 29 rentals. You can refine your search to find the right lottery for you. I ain't do all that. I just went down the line, right? I just I got too many pages. I just went on down the line of all the apartments that I seen, and it tells you lottery closing 60 days, 53 days, 50 days. Okay. So now they have what I'm looking at, 2 to 21 Malt Drive apartments. That is, I don't know. Oh, that's in Queens. They got Douglas Street Apartments. That's in Brooklyn. Grand Concourse. We know that's the Bronx. I ain't look for nothing. They give you the trains that's near you. I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't look for none of that. I just looked for where I wanted. So being that there's this one say Brooklyn, Douglas Street Apartments, Brooklyn, I would have clicked on that one, right? If I wasn't in the process. I would have picked on that one. Now I clicked on it. It gives you the picture of what the building looks like. The only thing it doesn't do, I'm noticing, that it doesn't, it says photos, but what I noticed, it doesn't, I guess if you're lucky or however it is, if it's finished. And mine wasn't finished. So I didn't get nothing but the pictures that they had was the building, what it looked like around the four, I guess the corners or whatever, the front, and what they call it, the blueprint. That's all I got. But I noticed that some of them do allow you to see the apartment. Okay, so I had to make sure that what I clicked on, well, I'm put like this, I didn't have to. But I'm noticing that when you click on it, it tells you the percentage of unions and what they set aside for. So 5% is set aside for mobility, right? So my apartment that I looked at is for mobility since my husband is a handicap, right? And it got the amenities on it and stuff like that. So you look over that, you see what you want, right? And then you apply. Now, upon applying, right, they have where you can upload stuff. They give you the full document list, and it tells you what to put up there, right? Now, I didn't put nothing until they text me. That's when I put up there. But they have the household income, right? And I applied September 9. Let me see. Did I apply? Wait a minute. Let me tell you when I applied. I applied on July 16, 2024. I think it closed in August, and that's when they accept me. I put rental assistance here. Let me see. I upload some documents, etc., etc. Okay, let me move right along. So now, with that being said, now from when was it? I applied from July. I applied for quite a few. I applied for quite a few lotteries, right? One lottery did contact me before this one, prior to this one. They did contact me, and let me see which one was that. Let me go. Okay, what's the pending? Your application has been created for the you make changes here also. Okay, so one I apply. I'm sorry, I'm just noticing. One I applied for on May 10th. I'm trying to see. It says something about pending. I don't know what that. Your application snapshot has been created. Oh, it say your application snapshot has been created for this lottery. If you make changes to your household or income, they will not be reflected for this lottery. You don't need to take any action yet. If your application is reached for further processing, you will get a request to upload and submit documents. Those documents will support the housing information in your Housing Connect account. Okay. So let me go back. I applied on May for that one. I'm trying to see something. Ooh, my lot number is in the 8,000s. Watching other videos, I learned that it give you your lot number. And your lot number is where you're placed at in the lottery. So this pick that I'm on now is a low take. I'm in the 600s. So I didn't even pay attention to it. So now that I watched that and seen, I see that I'm in really one of them. I'm 53,000, 74,000, 66,000, 52,000, and 8,000. The one that's pending is 8,000. So what I found out that the higher your lot number is, the more uh the best that area is, or the best that apartment is, or something like that. Let me go on to 70. I just gotta check right quick. Let me see what type of this one is. Chelsea and Clinton. This is in Manhattan. So they say that somebody was saying that you get somewhere in Manhattan, those are the ones that people really seek out, because those are the views. That's where everything's at. I don't really need to live in Manhattan, so I don't have a problem. So I just want to tell you this lottery, and this is in West 57th Street. So it's a waiting list. So I'm on a waiting list. And uh the income is 23,000 to 231,000. The amenities, let's just see why it costs so much. The amenities is the bike storage locker, shared laundry room, party room, gymnasium, children's playroom, and coursier. I guess somebody that's there to meet you at the door and all this other stuff. Okay, so nothing really interests me as far as the amenities. Don't even have it has a shared laundry room. Okay, my apartment allow you to have, um, it allows you to have a wash and dry in the room. I guess because that's a person that's handicapped, so they give you the option to put it in there. I have my own wash and dry, so we'll see how that go. I'm being told they charge you $5,000 for insurance. I don't know about that. I think I'll just get on the elevator and go on downstairs and wash some clothes. Okay, so now let me go right. Let me continue. Let me go back to my lottery, the one that I am on right now. And right now on the website, it's under review, and I applied on the 16th of July of last year, and it's in Brooklyn. Thank God for that. So upon me okay, so upon me going on this site, I filled out all these lotteries. But I also went on Street Easy. I also went on what's the other one? Willow and Housing Connect. There's another one, New Affordable Housing. That's the one I would really stay on, because I got a lot of answers from them. and they was more open to 5 bedroom. Okay, move right along. Now, now with the difference, let me go and answer the question so I can end this. Don't want to be too long. Okay, so the question is, right? Gotta find it now. Okay, let me find it. Where's it go? She doing huh? She just okay. Okay, step-by-step process of a housing lottery. So that's a step-by-step. I gave you the insight of my Section 8, right? And the process of the insight of the process of the connect. So they're very let me say in depth of your income, your household, every little thing, what you may have heard of other on other YouTube channels of the lottery. I'm here to tell you the truth. They go in debt. They go in debt of every little thing, right? They want to know if you got a deposit. They want to know where that deposit came from. They're not going to too much want to know why you got it or why it's coming from there. So if you get a deposit for Cash App, they want to know what it was about. You see what I'm saying? And it's more so not verbally. Everything has to be visual. They have to see what it is, right? So I'll give you an example. My daughter had a deposit into her bank account from Cash App, and they wanted to know, it said point of sale, so they thought she was selling. So they asked me, is you selling? What is she selling something? What is that? And she was being discreet because I guess she knew she was being nosy, right? But it's like I said, I know people got to do their job, and I want this apartment. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go along with you, and I'm explaining to the best of my ability. That's gonna be truthful. So I was telling her that the point of sale I'm thinking is something that was, well, that was dropped off or deposit or whatever. Not so much as something that she's getting, right? So she wanted the breakdown of it. So that caused me to to look through my daughter's bank statements, find those transactions, and have her look for them and see where they was coming from. And come to find out, it was from her source, which was her job, that she transferred over into Cash App, and she decided she wanted to put it back in her bank. So I had to make sure I let the lady know, the leasing specialist know, that this is not an extra income. This is the income that she's getting from her source, and she's just transferring it back and forth to different platforms. So I had to have my daughter send them to my printer from her phone, and I printed out, and I had to scan these documents. Do you hear what I'm saying? Go look for them videos where it say frustrated. Underneath the what is it, New York City housing, that's the frustration. Some of them is just me being frustrated because I was up. The last thing, which was that I had to deliver to my specialist, kept me up to about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I was stupid. Do you hear what I'm saying? I tell you no lie. I was stupid. Mentally stupid. Okay. But I got it done. And I wrote and let her know that my brain is sleeping now, but I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do what I need to do so my husband can get this apartment, right? Because even though it's in my name, it's for him, you know? Because we would have been done had some nice apartments if nobody was in the wheelchair. So I had to turn down a lot of good, nice buildings, nice apartments, nice everything, because I wanted to make sure there was access for him to get into that apartment. I wasn't worrying about nobody else, not even myself, knowing that I'm gonna get up in age and I don't need to be pumping those steps. I need the elevator. But I wanted to make sure that he was taken care of and everybody else would fall in line. You know, we got 10 steps to go up. We got an elevator, the elevator break down. I could stay upstairs, but I'm gonna send y'all to go down, walk down them stairs. You see? So I wanted to make sure my husband was taken care of. So with that being said, I filled out, send these the documents that she was, cleared it all up. So that's the main thing. Whatever it is that they want, you make sure you have it. Right? No lying when it comes down to your money. If you can't cover what they're asking for, then don't apply for that one. Apply for one lower. But make sure it accommodates your family size. If you're on a program. I don't know how it is if you ain't on no program. I can tell you nothing about how it is without a program. I can only talk about me being a Section 8 recipient and how it works with a Section 8. So now, upon everything being done, that's the main thing that we had to do. From when she contacted me, which was December 17th, up until now, it was documents that I was giving her. She wanted to even make sure that they was not getting no alimony or they wasn't getting no child support. So I had to go across the street. I had to type up a letter, have both of my daughters sign it, and then go across the street and notarize it. And send that to her. And I was so dead to my brain being sleeping that I didn't realize that I didn't send all of them. But um, I sent what I sent to her, right? So they get down to the nitty gritty. Because here's the thing, I'm believing that if you click on, they're believing, not me, that if you click on a lottery that says $31,000, that means your income is on that. So now, when they go and they go through your income has to hit that 31,000 or more. You got a 31. Let's say it's 31,000, between 31,000 and 131,000. So even if you go over the 31,000, which I did, mine was 29. So even if you go over that 31,000, as long as you don't go over the maximum, which if it's 131,000, make sure you hit 130. Or make sure you hit 100. Don't go so close. But it's all about the income. And it's all about the income for them because they want to get their money. But for you, it's all about your family side. Make sure it can accommodate. Now, mine's is 4 bedroom, but it can accommodate my family. It can accommodate. It caused me to downsize because my room is big. Can y'all see how big my room is? Y'all see all the stuff I got in my room? I know I'm moving, so y'all see. See, that's a bed. That's a dresser. That part over there goes to this. This is my bed, right? This is a set. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4. This is a 4 bedroom set, but it's like 7 pieces because my bed is storage. They count this. It has a light, right? It has a light. Go off. And then I have storage at the bottom of the bed. Back down there is a storage. 2 drawers over there. Okay, so you'll see I got a nice thing. I got a this room is kind of big, but I have to I have to say that the bedroom that I'm moving in is not as big as this one, but it's okay because 61. Probably by the time I get in that apartment, God let me live to see March the 8th, I'll be 62. So I don't need all this stuff. So I'm already downsizing in my head, so I'll be fine. So just make sure if you got a family of 4, make sure it accommodates you. If you got a family of 3 or 10, however it is, make sure that whatever you pick accommodates you. Okay, so let me see what else I can say about the lottery. So upon all of that, right, sending her everything. The last thing that has to be done, which I guess determines that you have this place, because she's the one who determined whether you get it. Okay. And then all your documents are sent to the managing office, right? Because she's the leasing person. So she sends it to the managing office. So now the manager, now here's the catch, the managing office is the one that pick you. Now once they pick you, then you got to deal with this lot of this what yeah, yeah. So it's a lottery. So I guess we all know how lottery goes, right? We saw that on television where the ball go, and then they go inside and pick the numbers, and if you got the number, you win the lottery, right? So it's the same way with it's the same way with apartment. So once you're picked, which is through the system, then you are assigned. Now, this ain't what she told me. This is what I'm presuming. You are assigned a worker. And then that worker starts working with you. So that's what it. And then when you get to the last. All right. I don't know what happened. I kind of disappeared there. Let me see if the numbers start moving. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. So I hope this didn't put a break in it. So now, okay, let me see. Let me stop. No, no. It's going to take a while to upload. So I was thinking about, so I didn't think I would have stopped it, but it's too late now. So let me just, I'm almost finished. I'm to the end now. So now, the last step to it is signing the document to release stuff and signing the documents to, I guess, to get into the apartment like that. Something like that, right? It's a whole lot of papers. Each adult person had to sign. Okay. And then you had to, and then you had to, uh, what is it? Yeah, once you sign all the documents, right, it's sent to you in a signing software, like where you have to, where you can actually sign it without printing it out. Thank God for that, because I didn't feel like scanning nothing this morning. And once you sign that, then you have options to pick whether you want. This is when you know you're getting the actual apartment. When they ask for your they'll have something that this is very important. They'll have three options. The first option is you you send 12 months of payment of rent payment with the landlord along with your lease. The second option is a credit check. And the third option, which was mine, you pass that credit check, and you, if you have a subsidy, then you will click on that you have a subsidy, and you'll pass the credit check, which I was so glad because my credit ain't that good, you know. But I'm presuming that's not for everybody. This is my process. So I sign all that. That's included in there. So I sign all that and I send it. And the next person get it. So it's not like each of us got it. It was sent to me first. When I finished signing off on all the papers and giving approval to them, then I saved my copy, closed it out, and it went to my husband. I filled it out for him. He filled whatever, whatever, and then closed it out, and it went to my daughter. She closed it out, went to the next daughter, and now and then I guess it had to go to the managing lady. Now after that, that's where I am now. So once I call Section 8, Section 8 now, um, Section 8 now has to get all those papers and approve the contract rent, how much you're gonna pay, and then they got to break down my share. and then I'll get that letter. And then upon me approving it, I guess me approving it, I guess I got to do the final proving. But there's really no approving for me, because if Section 8 accepts it, what they asking for rent, then my share is my share. And it's based on my income. So there's no way I can say I'm not going to accept it, because my income will cover it. Because they only going to have you pay what you can pay. And what you can't pay, Section 8 will pay. So there's really, the only difference between Section 8 and the lottery is that you're living in a more confined place. You got more things available to you under your rent. You know, you got a more nicer place, you know, you know, that's about it. So the Section 8, the process of doing just a plain Section 8 apartment is totally different from the lottery. And it's because it's a lottery. It's not your choice of an apartment. Section 8, you go out there, you pick your apartment, you deal with your landlord, or you deal with the broker. But in the long run, you deal with the landlord, because the broker is just there to help you. Should I say help the landlord out? Because you ain't got nobody helping you out, except because you got to still find an apartment. And, so in other words, I guess the broker do help you out a little bit. But the lottery is that you automatically picked what you wanted, and now they are accepting you. And if they accept you, then you got to abide by their rules. But look what you're getting. And it is low income, I guess you could say affordable income, and put it that way, not low, because it's being based around my Section 8 subsidy, and my income. So I hope I answered the question. I know it was kind of long. Let me go back and say, can you do it? Okay, yeah. So I hope I explained the lottery, how it is. The confirmation hearing for another one of Trump's cabinet picks is underway. And Section 8, and I explained Section 8, and hopefully y'all can see the difference between the lottery and the Section 8. Okay? Have a blessed day. If I did not answer or I left something out, please do not hesitate to let me know. Okay? Please, no negative comments, because I want this video to be positive. So if somebody else come across it, it'll help them out. Okay? All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.